So I'm going to show you once again that there's definitely a transgender agenda with the Jesuit Order. So Joe Biden selects transgender doctor Rachel Levine as Assistant Health Secretary. So this is Rachel Levine, who used to be known as Richard Levine. As I said, recently selected Assistant Health Secretary. I'm sure there was a lot of people running for that. And Biden chose Rachel Levine. I think I know why. So this announcement was made by President-elect Joe Biden yesterday that he will nominate Rachel Levine, Pennsylvania's top health official, as his Assistant Secretary of Health. Levine, a pediatrician, will become the first openly transgender federal official to be confirmed by the US Senate. As Pennsylvania's Secretary of Health, Levine has risen to national prominence for leading the state's public health response to the coronavirus pandemic, despite repeated and ugly attacks on her gender identity. Right, first of all, Levine has risen to national prominence. It's not difficult to do that, is it? If the media get behind you, the Jesuit Order run the media, they get behind you, they'll say whatever they want about you, good or bad. And leading the state's public health response to the coronavirus pandemic, has anybody done a good job of that anywhere, especially in the United States? I think not. And then they have a little dig at the end that people are attacking her for her gender identity. Again, probably made up headlines. It's just a joke. There's clearly an agenda. And again, I'll show you why. So some interesting numbers. The Jesuit Order, who run the show, these Luciferians at the top, basically run everything. Like I said, the media, the banks, public education to an extent, the government, professional sport franchises. The list goes on with these people. So the Jesuit Order equals 144, 54, and 72. Transgenders equals 144, 54, and 72. That's why I'm saying there's an agenda. That I have no issue with transgenders, but there's a transgender agenda with the Jesuit Order. Transgender equals 53, 172, and 64. And Pennsylvania equals 53, 172, and 64. Obviously, Joe Biden was born in Pennsylvania. Rachel Levine is supposedly Pennsylvania's top health official. Rachel Levine is 64 years of age. So the transgender from Pennsylvania is 64. She's being given the role of Secretary of Health or Assistant Secretary of Health. Secretary equals 57. She was born in 1957. These people are selected by the numbers. So more interesting numbers is that Joe Biden equals 64 and transgender equals 64. So it's interesting, there's this big movement, especially now under Biden. So you've got Rachel Levine, who's just been given the role of Assistant Secretary of Health. You've got Sarah Thomas. Well, she's not a transgender, although I think she probably is, to be honest. It's just been announced that Sarah Thomas, in her first year of officiating in the NFL, is now going to be officiating in the Super Bowl. How does that work? How does it work that a person who's just basically earning her stripes is now given the opportunity to officiate in the biggest game in football, in the NFL? Again, people won't look at that. They'll say, what an amazing achievement. It's about time, equal opportunity. It's like, no, it's equal opportunity. Let the person earn their stripes, not get given it after a few months. So yeah, Sarah Thomas, remember how she wears the number 53? Come on, there's an agenda. Rachel's birth name was Richard Levine. Richard Levine equals 79. Society of Jesus equals 79. This is the Jesuit Order. Again, this is not coincidental how this all comes together. I've got to discuss the 46. So she's just become the Assistant Health Secretary. That equals 406, and in gematria, 0 has no value. It's 46, and Biden is the 46th president of the US. Catholic equals 46. I've mentioned before how JFK, the first Catholic president of the United States, was assassinated at the age of 46. I mentioned how Joe Biden's son, Beau Biden, died at the age of 46. Again, This is not by accident. And let's end it with this. This is Rachel or Richard Levine's spouse, who he/she was married to. So Martha Levine is her name. Her name equals 56 and 70, just like coronavirus equals 56 and 70, guys. Come on. Coronavirus numbers with her spouse. And what does it say here? Levine has risen to national prominence for leading the state's public health response to the coronavirus pandemic. And then her spouse has the numbers of coronavirus. So there's an agenda. The couple of people who are commenting saying, "Oh, you're forcing, you're against transgenders." No, I'm not. I've never once said it. I'm saying that there's a transgender agenda at the top, and the Jesuit Order are behind it, and there's no doubt. So here's another example. Joe Biden selects transgender doctor Rachel Levine as Assistant Health Secretary.